going quickly because it is later in the day than I normally do this. Front beds. The bluegrass is back and spreading, which is what we hope for. Volunteer pumpkins are trying to eat everything. And I've added a few little baby things from the plant sale mullein that I started from seed that actually did something because I winter sowed it this time. Happy lilies, salvia. My Rose of Sharon is about to bloom, so end of May. Have to wait till the end of May to see that every year. I need to remember that because I'm very impatient about it. These flowers are already huge. We've already had our mulberry rush, so that's done. I have added pallet fencing and an arch. We have this weed everywhere that the bees really love. I'm not sure what it's called, but that's okay. I'm leaving it in clumps because the bees love it. I've tried interplanting a lot of peppers and tomatoes with herbs this year in the front, so we'll see how that works out. This bed is making me so happy. There's a little patch where it's still grassy, even though it's been mulched this season. That's just what it does. But everything else is filling out and taking up space. Black-eyed Susans and mint and the fig and the daylilies. So that's finally looking how I hoped it would look. Added this arch as well. Trying to make some space that is intentionally grass, intentionally yard and not garden, so that I can go ham with what is garden. Calendula I just keep picking and it just keeps blooming, so that's great. Maybe you can see all the bees everywhere. They really love that stuff. So mixed in with all that I guess once this weed is done and dies back, the things that I planted on purpose will be able to come through. So there's cosmos and yarrow and roses, daisies, black-eyed Susans, marigolds. I have a whole forest of elephant ears over there. I don't remember planting that many, but that's okay. This is my swamp mallow marshmallow that came back from last year. Didn't know it would do that. This is my bee balm that never fully died back, but has definitely gotten huge since it warmed up. This mulberry did nothing this year. I'm not sure why. So just making note of that. Maybe it'll have a huge yield next year and it just takes a year off. This, it turns out, is a white mulberry. Where are they? There it is. Amazing. Didn't know that's what that was. This is my tea camellia and it's trying to die. And I've got to figure out why. I've got to look up what that is, because a friend gifted that to me and I don't want to let it die. Our blueberry with berries on it. Got those tucked in everywhere. Nanking cherries on either side, which I did get a few berries off of, or cherries off of this year finally. So hopefully next year it'll be epic. Obedience plant, gardenia. All my gardenias are blooming right now, so everything smells amazing. I don't know what to do with this. Happy about the cherry, happy about the peppermint down here being a ground cover. That's what I wanted. Thought I had gotten up all of these canna lilies. You can't get up canna lilies. I left this big grass because I thought it was interesting. The wild rose, believe it or not, is going wild. Don't really know what to do about that, and at this point, I don't know. I think I'm just going to keep cutting it out of the pathway and hope for the best in here. There is a hardy hibiscus that blooms white flowers back there that might be moving to my mom's house so that this Nanking cherry can kind of eat this whole corner, because I would love that. But I've got to wait for all this to die down so that I can get in there and dig that guy up. A friend of mine gave me a loofah, but I did not have any actual garden space left for it, so he's going to grow on the fence over here. This is a chinkapin plum. That is a hardy kiwi going over this arbor here that's trying its hardest to stay alive. And I need to get a second one for it to pollinate. I did have a second one and I cannot find it. It doesn't seem like it came back. So I've got rosemary and then hyssop mixed in a lot of places. This rosemary is struggling. Don't know why. The elderberry is 2 stories tall, but it is starting to get covered in blooms. I need to harvest some blooms and not wait for the berries because I want to make some elderflower something, tea or something. This is hops that I'm letting have this arch here. There's also some fall gold raspberries. I didn't get any last year in the fall, so we'll see what they do this year. My eucalyptus, it was looking kind of sickly. All of it kind of looked like this. And now it is putting out the new growth that looks healthy. Elderberry is spreading everywhere. I've got sunchokes mixed in everywhere up here because why not? Hydrangea is happy. What I like to see. I love the way that this little curl has come out. Hey bud! With the ferns and then the rhubarb. I love the way that comes out. Ferns over here have bounced back pretty well. I keep moving things around, so they're doing their best to hang in there with me. Elephant ears, hibiscus, that is a Japanese maple or some kind of little maple that I got from the Arboretum. The Turk's cap, where is it? Right there. The thing that's a native to Texas, I'm pretty sure. That is cinnamon basil that I keep walking by and pinching back, and I'm drying it for tea, and it is not hindered at all. There's more sunchokes somehow growing really happily in the shade, and my neighbor's dog, he's so sweet. Blue hydrangea, big mess because I'm housing chicks for some friends right now. All right, garden. Hops with no home right here. I think I'm gonna plant it in the ground right here and let it have this right here because the raspberry didn't really use it. It kind of climbed up to the top and then up at the top died. I need to figure out what's going on. The tops of some of my plants are dying and I'm wondering if it's because the neighbor sprayed something. But there's nothing I can do about that. So lots of raspberry runners I need to dig up for people. This is a fig that I threw here as a panic move because I needed to put it somewhere, and it does have little baby figs on it. So we'll get figs. Lilies and irises. Chives down there behind the light that the bunnies had eaten. This is what we're calling the Gunther gourd. It is a cross with a butternut squash, I think, that my brother-in-law kind of accidentally created. So I'm going to try to grow it, and if we can save the seeds from it and keep it the same, we will have our own family gourd seed that we have. That is dill under there in the pot. That's my bay leaf bush that I thought had died, but he came back. That is blueberry, marshmallow, because I didn't know it was coming back, so I planted seeds. Another little blueberry. Both of those also got eaten back to the ground by the rabbits and thought they were dead. More bee balm. It seems like it's spreading also. That was stopped. That definitely got eaten, so I don't know if it'll come back or not. Threw some zinnias in. That is a peach tree that is not going to live there. He has a home somewhere else, but he's hanging out right there. I threw some sunflower sprouts in here. I might just push some seeds in because I really want sunflowers along the border here, mixed in with things. And that is a muscadine vine. I'm pretty sure that's the muscadine. One's muscadine and one is Concord, and I think that's muscadine. So before we get into the actual garden, okay, look at Palm. Look at how sweet he is. He just lays there. Got some things in pots: tomatoes, basil, cucumbers, ground cherries, some Roman chamomile that's getting eaten by something. So I'm gonna have to move some to somewhere else just to make sure that the one pest doesn't get it all. Tomato and cucumber, that's waiting for something, maybe Roman chamomile. There's already mosquitoes out. Cayenne peppers. No clue what kind of tomato and peppers these are, but we'll find out shortly. There is one pepper in there. I planted 3 or 4 in here, and every time the chickens got out, the first thing they did was run over here and dig it up. That's the only one that's still in there, and that's the mulatto islangio pepper from M.I. Gardner. These are volunteer ground cherries that I dug up and put inside the bed. See, there's one on the outside again. Volunteer pumpkins from all of the pumpkins that I was given for the chickens at the end of fall last year. And the pumpkins sat here and broke down, and now we have pumpkins everywhere. So, tomato, not sure what kind. We will find out shortly. All right. Volunteer amaranth. Finally, some Hopi red dye amaranth volunteered for me. I planted more seeds for amaranth because I didn't think any volunteers were coming up. This little pepper on the end is Bikini yellow. It's the little teeny tiny guys. I can't tell what I'm doing. Little teeny tiny guys. And don't remember what kind of pepper this is. Doesn't matter. I'm growing it. My herb bed right now is mostly feverfew, although I do have some fennel, sunflowers, and I think that's lime basil up there at the front. Pumpkins. This is supposed to be the pumpkin bed. I did stick a tomato in it because why not? I had enough tomatoes. Oregano. That is currants. I moved them. They were getting eaten by the sunchoke, so I moved them over to where they'd get some sun. We'll see if that's too sunny and I can move it in the very backyard. That is yarrow, lemon balm, snapdragon, feverfew, ashwagandha, and fennel in that bed right there. More canna lilies that I thought I had dug up. That is the Love Lies Bleeding Amaranth that I started from seed because I didn't think any was coming back. Snapdragons, more feverfew because we have found out that we really like it. And then horehound, which is, I guess, gone to seed. It is really neat looking right now with the little poof balls of seeds on it. So my asparagus is done. It's all ferning like this. Some of it I've left, some of it I've just cut back and thrown on the ground. More marshmallow that came back that I don't remember planting there, truthfully. But it's fine. Or marshmallow hibiscus, one or the other. It's there now. All right. So watermelon, this is a sugar baby watermelon. And then on either corner are bait alpha cucumbers. They're the kind, I cannot remember the word for it, but they do not need to cross-pollinate. Whatever it is, they do not need to cross-pollinate. And then that is the Delice de la Table melon. That's another little baby Gunther gourd, just to give it another chance. I think this is a hydrangea maybe. This just came up, and if it is a hydrangea, I'm so excited. It's starting to bloom, and it looks hydrangea-esque, so I think I'm going to dig it up and put it somewhere pretty. Tomatoes, very likely Brad's Atomic Grape. Could be vintage wine. I don't remember because I just started panic planting tomatoes in some places where seedlings were getting eaten by roly-polies. Tomato bed, as if they're not all tomato beds. All right, on the end here is Black Beauty tomato, lots of blossoms, so hopefully start fruiting soon. Next is the yellow stuffer tomato that actually has some little tomatoes on it. I don't know if I'll like that one or not, but I had to try it. Pretty sure once we get down here, it's the cherry tomatoes at the end. So it's going to be either champagne bubbles or blueberry tomatoes. All around the end, I just put up some structure yesterday for everything. All right, so yeah, champagne bubbles, that's gotta be blueberries. You can see the, how do I get you to see it? There it is. The streaking starting on that to be purple. They will be dark purple. And then Aunt Ruby's German green. And what is this one? Oh, Dr. Weish's. Have to grow one of those every year. I don't even know that they're like my favorite tomato, but I just have to grow them every year. Caught some rain, so we are watering from that right now. Banana is being disappointing. I don't know if I'm going to keep trying with that. We'll see. Tomatoes. Again, had too many. Put them in pots. Champagne bubbles. That is a cucuzzi squash. I'm not sure why I'm growing so many squash. I probably thought they were all going to die. Brad's in this pot. Vintage wine in the next one. And then this pepper is sweet banana. Little baby olive trees. This is the blackberry. So on the original growth, it's covered in berries, and then these are all shooting up. So I need to train those how I want. I'm trying to grow this pepper so hard. Trying so hard to grow this pepper because it's supposed to be just this outstanding flavor, and I have this one little sprout that it looks like it's going to put out leaves again. And I'm just going to let them try. This is a Space Master cucumber. And it does have a cucumber on it. It's supposed to be a bush. That doesn't look like a bush. So, you know, it is what it is. It's a cucumber. This is, I don't remember ordering these, but I planted them anyway. Albino bullnose pepper. It's like a white stubby pepper. So I don't remember ordering that. It may have been like a free seed as a gift with something that I ordered, but I started it anyway, like I said. This is a cayenne that I overwintered. I went ahead and started more cayennes because I couldn't remember if I overwintered any, because they were not labeled. This is another one that I overwintered. Not sure what kind it is. I need to look up what I started last year. The tomato in the blue pot is a currant tomato. I am hoping that I never have to plant these again, because the garden is pretty established where it is, and they reseed really easily, and I love them. So not sure what kind of pepper is in the pot, so we'll find out. And that is one of the peppers from last year that I overwintered. It's not the fish hot pepper, and it's not a purple flash pepper. Jigsaw pepper is what it's called, from Baker Creek, and I love it. The variegation is pretty. The fact that the blossoms are purple is pretty. I don't know why nothing will focus. It's just so pretty. It'd be a really pretty house plant even. But grapevine is happy. I'm pretty sure this is the Concord grapevine. After the tomato bed is potatoes that I'm hoping will go ahead and bloom so I can pull them out, because they were kind of an afterthought because I had some potatoes sprout. And then there is a bell pepper down here and some kind of tomato. There are peppers under the potatoes because I thought they'd be pulled out by now so the peppers could take over. I was attempting some succession planting and the potatoes have slowed down for whatever reason. These are Jersey Devil tomatoes. And I just really hate growing paste tomatoes because they just look sick all the time. I really hate it. None of my other tomatoes look this wimpy. I'm having this at the top. I mentioned it earlier. I'm having this kind of curly mess at the top of some of my plants, and I don't know what that is. I'm pretty sure that these tomatoes are Marion tomatoes. Just a regular red slicer tomato. And then I threw in more cucumbers down there. I was really worried I wasn't going to have cucumbers, and I'm not worried about that anymore. Can't remember what kind of tomato that is, but I threw it in there so that there was something else. I didn't want this whole bed to be used up just for that tiny little base of a plant down there. But this is zucchino rampicante, or rampicante squash. There's a chance it's the same thing as tromboncino, which I did not know. I bought seeds for both. So it's doing better than I anticipated. And I have now given it this archway because the stuff down here for the arch is going so slow. I'm pretty sure this is blueberry tomatoes. I feel like that's what I threw in there because whatever I had put there, again, roly-polies were just destroying everything. I mean, I had eggplant in here and I had all kinds of things. I'm pretty sure all the peppers in here are Purple Beauty bell pepper, except for these in front of the arch, which are not jalapenos, and they are struggling, and I really want them to do well. Cucumbers again. Cucumbers over here are the silver slicer, so they're like a white cucumber. Got some royal burgundy bush beans that'll come out before too long, but I mean, nothing is really trying to use the space at this point, so I'm not in a hurry. Down here is an acorn, what is it? Acorn bush table king, something like that. It's an acorn squash. I've never grown before, but in here are dwarf tomatoes. The variety is Wero Kauai. First time I tried these was from Craig LaHoulier when I got them from him in Raleigh. They did well for me the first time I grew them, and they've not done well since. So I'm trying them again. More feverfew, because I needed more feverfew, I guess. another Rimpicante squash that is now competing with the grapes, but I'm happy to just keep pruning back anything of the grapes that doesn't have fruit on it right now. Oh, there's another cucumber down there that I probably need to pick soon. Tomato graveyard right now for things I need to plant and don't have room for. And then as I've been digging up raspberries, that's what they've been going. So that's May, what's today, 25th, 2024. Everything's growing, everything's making progress, and we're about to be drowning in some food, which is a good problem.